Hey, what's up, everyone? Had a great trading day today. Hope everyone else did as well. Swinging Bull here with PB Alerts and back for another earnings stream, specifically United Airlines. So we're going to see the price reaction to their earnings data. They're supposed to report exactly at 4 p.m. Eastern, so we'll see if that's the case. Got another 20 seconds here before the actual data should be coming out. Getting a little bit of selling here before the data actually comes out. So we'll see what the price does here in a minute. Let me just refresh my other screen. So as soon as the data comes out, we'll be able to post that for everybody on YouTube and Twitter and everything like that. Okay, that was officially the closing bell. So regular session is officially over. Let me kind of zoom in. Okay, I'm already on the 1 minute chart. So let's kind of see what United Airlines does here. I'm going to pull up Webull as well, kind of check the order book over there. Let's see. Okay, we are getting some volatility here, getting a bullish move so far. Let's see if this ends up being the actual move. Up almost 2% in after hours here. Okay, it's getting some flickering candles here, so it's just kind of be a little patient and see what happens. Okay. So a couple things to note with United Airlines earnings, like kind of what we want to see is we want to see the current versus the average moves around earnings for the last 2 quarters, kind of see what the comparison is there. And of course, the expected versus the actual move percent for the last 7 quarters, and earnings per share comparison for the last 4 quarters. So getting some action here. Looks like we are getting some selling. So far we got a negative reaction, wicked up to almost 48 bucks a share, and that obviously ended up not being the real move, which is what we see from time to time here. We kind of switch back to trading view real quick. Okay, so far we got a negative reaction. Let's see what happens if maybe it heads back the other way, because obviously, when this earnings data gets released, it takes a little bit of time for the data to get digested by investors. So sometimes we see some ping pong action. Got a little bit of data here. This is from some stock news here, FSMN. Q2 EPS came in at $4.14 versus the estimate of 3.93. So they did beat EPS, but still getting a negative reaction here. See if I can get some data on their revenue. Give me 1 second. Let me just post this initial data I got here. I'll post that for everybody on YouTube. Again, looks like we got a bunch more people joining the stream here on Twitter and things like that. Welcome to the stream. We're looking at the earnings price reaction of United Airlines. I've been selling options on JetBlue all year, so I was very interested to see what's going on with United Airlines today for their earnings, because obviously that will definitely impact what JetBlue's price action tomorrow. Let me post the EPS data that I got there for everyone. So we got that. Let me see if I can find some revenue, and then of course the forward guidance, the all important forward guidance. Okay, getting some solid data here from AlphaSense. Let me kind of just pull this over. We'll keep United Airlines chart on the right here. Net income of 1.3 billion, adjusted net income of 1.4 billion. So it's nice to see that they're still a profitable company. I know there were some quarters that they didn't have some profit, but diluted earnings per share $3.96, adjusted diluted earnings per share $4.14. So the total operating revenue of 15 billion, up 5.7% compared to the same quarter last year. So a little bit of growth there. That's good. Average fuel price per gallon $2.76. Jeez, their fuel is cheaper than what we're paying at the gas station. Jeez. Capacity up 8.3% compared to second quarter 2023. Pre-tax earnings of 1.7 billion with a pre-tax margin of 11.6. Okay, it's got a statement from the CEO here. The revenue diversity advantages that we built with our premium customers, basic economy customers, and domestic road warriors, on top of the world's best loyalty program and leading customer service, have propelled our margins to near the top of the industry. Yeah, I mean, they do have double-digit margins, so that's good. Always good to be double-digit margin. So that was said by United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby. Looking forward, we see multiple airlines have begun to cancel loss-making capacity. We expect leading unit revenue performance among our largest peers in the second half of the third quarter. United has long been preparing for the moment when industry-wide domestic capacity would adjust, and it's now clear that the inflection point is just 30 days away. So anyways, this is on Twitter from AlphaSense, pretty good source. Kind of take a look here if anyone wanted to read some of these numbers. So, but initial reaction was negative. We saw that. It does look like it might be trying to claw back a little bit here as the data is actually getting digested. I'm going to put a Fibonacci on this just to kind of see what we're working with. Go here. I'm just going to do it. I'll include the wick up here down here. So it's kind of just hovering right above, right at the 25% retrace. So let's maybe see if it can hold there. That's going to be around 45 bucks, almost to the penny. So looking for 45 to hold, trading just above it right now. It looks like it might even break to the downside. We'll see. It's a 1 minute chart here. So let me just make sure I didn't miss any comments on the Discord. Hey Farouk, how you doing? AUN Rod, Chadwick Stiller, good to see you. Latvian, good to see you. OG Nikki and Stickman, good to see everyone. Got a little over 100 people tuning in on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So let's kind of see if United Airlines starts clawing back here. But we did get the initial move. To be honest with you, the initial move was positive there for a moment. Went up to $47.99 a share. Obviously not the real move, and ended up selling off down to 44 bucks a share. So trying to find the bottom here in after hours at 44, trading just above 45, which is the next level up I'd have my eye on. And then you got the mid 45s, like 45.50, and then 46. Basically nice clean 50-cent levels, basically. Okay, 44 is the bottom. 25% retraces around 45, and then 50-cent levels from there is what I'd be looking for this to retrace. But just wanted to kind of take a peek at their anchored VWAP. Okay, so they were trading below the anchored VWAP going into the earnings, so just something to note there. Anchored VWAP's a little bit above 50 bucks a share. Looking at some of the previous earnings data I'm going to look at here in a second. Got a strong buy on 16 analysts on tip ranks. Looking at EPS data. Looks like they've always done a good job beating EPS. And the last time they reported earnings, their EPS, they did beat the forecast by a lot, but it was still kind of negative. But now with the EPS they just announced just now, they're actually back in positive territory. EPS came in at $4.14. So that's really good EPS compared to the previous earnings. So I like seeing that. They've been on a pretty good run beating the EPS forecast. Looking at the price of United Airlines 1 day after earnings from the previous 4 earnings, the time before today, they were really nice and green the next day, up over 17%. And when they reported in January for Q4 of last year, they were up 5%. So the most recent 2 earnings, they've had positive reactions. Just something to note there. Sometimes when it's like that, sometimes maybe they put the forecast a little bit higher than it should be, and if they don't beat it, then they can be read the next day. Probably might have what happened here on October 17th. But anyway, let's go back to the sticks and just kind of see. Okay, United Airlines just kind of hanging out here. So we got the initial down move, and from the top, about a $4 to the downside down move. It has retraced 25%, and now it's kind of trading sideways a little bit. So we'll see if this is going to be like some sort of accumulation phase where it trades sideways for a little bit. But obviously it's going to make a move either up or down. But it's nice to see that when it trades sideways, at least we can anticipate a move one way or another, instead of it just being real sloppy, volatile price action. I do like watching to see if we get some sort of sideways action to help us determine if we got a move coming up soon. And again, that'd be me just noticing that it could be an accumulation phase. Got a sell order on the ask here, $45.33. About the biggest order I see on the book right now, but trading just below that right now. Okay, looks like they moved the order to 45.21. Let's see if that gets chewed through, or is that going to hold as resistance? And yep, looks like it got bought up there. Let me go to time and sales real quick. Oh, got a nice green block right there. So we do got some accumulation going on, pretty obvious in the order book here in the time and sales. So got some accumulation, got some people accumulating shares, possibly for another move up. Again, levels to the upside, looking for 45.50 to break, and then 46, and then of course 46.50. So pretty clean levels to keep in mind if you're going to be monitoring this for the remainder of after hours. If you were long on United Airlines, it's not all doom and gloom. I know the initial reaction was negative, but it's retraced 25% and now it's trading sideways. So this very well could turn around for the remainder of after hours. Got about 4 hours left before the after hour session closes. So kind of see what happens here. Just looking at some of the fundamentals leading up to this earnings announcement. Their forecast PE ratio 4.93, EPS 8.10. They do not pay a dividend. Got a float of 327 million. What's up, Stickman? Just saw you join the party. Good to see you. Let's go back to the financials here. Look at the income statement leading up. Yeah, so that's looks like they actually did pull a profit. We were reading that earlier. Let me kind of make it bigger here. Yeah, so their net income of 1.3 billion. So they have pulled the profit, because if you look at Q1 of 2024, they actually lost a little bit of money, negative 0.12, and so now they're very much back into profitability. Okay, over $1 billion profit. So definitely an improvement from their Q1 earnings announcements, earnings data, should I say. And let's look at, just want to look at the balance sheet real quick. Actually, let me see total revenue. Total revenue was on the decline, but looks like they rebounded with the data that came out today. Okay, debt to asset ratio 87%. So they're not really over leveraged. Right now I'd say debt to asset over 100%, they'd be over leveraged. So they are below that. So that's not bad at all. Just looking at some quant rating here. So basically momentum stock, but dash of quality and value, a little bit of growth in there too. So moderate quant rating, overall rating, pretty good there. But again, initial reaction was negative. I think investors just need to digest all the earnings data, and it looks like it very well could be in trading sideways for a move up. RSI is trending up and back above the 30 mark. Again, this is the 1 minute chart, so take it with a grain of salt. But we had a catalyst and we're getting some price action here, so I wanted to zoom in for everybody, and that's kind of what we got to work with right now because the data was just released almost 15 minutes ago. So let's kind of see what happens to it here, and then kind of go over some of the trades that we've been doing in the Discord here in a little bit. Let me move this back over here. And let's take a look at the heat map. Obviously, tech was down today. Kind of saw that coming. I don't know if anyone noticed yesterday, but a ton of money was going into industrials and healthcare and utilities and basic materials. I saw a lot of money, a lot of funds getting moved into those sectors yesterday while things were pumping, and it was a little sketchy there when I saw that, and kind of figured we'd get some sort of pullback. I ended up shorting Carnival Cruise Lines at the end of the day yesterday, and that paid off really well today. And I was thinking about shorting. This was yesterday afternoon when I did my stream with the Discord. I was going to short S&P or Nvidia, but I just decided, those two are just sometimes pretty volatile, especially the way the premiums move on the options chain on the contracts and stuff. So I decided to play it a little bit safer, and I just shorted Carnival Cruise Line, and it ended up working out great. We got the pullback today that I kind of was suspecting that was going to happen when I started noticing a bunch of money flowing into some of the safe haven stocks towards the end of the day yesterday. So that played out really well. But again, obviously tech is down today. Semiconductors specifically, based on some China news that came out. So that really hurt semiconductors today. Of course, the other tech companies kind of followed suit, but the biggest hit was semiconductors for sure. And again, that was because of some China news that came out. So, that happens from time to time. Semiconductors are going to be just fine. Just got to pull back with some news. Let me go back here and refresh my other screen and see if I got anything else I can share with y'all. Yeah, I got it's funny. You've got some people on Twitter saying earnings were overall good. Watch for the reversal. We were kind of looking at that just a little bit ago. It's kind of looking like we might get the reversal. I'm not really going to be confident that the reversal is going to happen until we can get above this golden fib here, which is right around $46.50. That's a nice simple level. Obviously when these levels prior to that start breaking, that's going to build my confidence up even more. But if we can get it back above 46.50, I'll be pretty dang confident that this is going to in fact reverse and possibly get a trend day out of it tomorrow. We'll see. But let me just look at some other things here. Okay, so they did miss on revenue a little bit, but it wasn't by much. Let me actually post this because this is easier to read. Let me hide that and post this. So there's a more clear cut picture. Okay, Q2 EPS 396 versus 397 estimate. So the adjusted EPS actually came in at $4.14. So that's probably the number that I would look at. The unadjusted EPS came right in line, but the adjusted one, $4.14. So technically they did beat EPS. This was posted by, it was also posted by Alpha Sense. But anyways, revenue, they did miss revenue just a little bit. Revenue came in 15 billion versus 15.1 billion expectations. So got a little bit clearer to read there. Let's see here. This is actually some good info to go over here. It does look like United Airlines wants to reverse, folks. It does look like that. We'll see what happens, but we got a buy side imbalance on the order books. A lot more buyers than sellers right now. We'll see if that can hold, and definitely curling up here. So looking good for a possible recovery. Just want to kind of go over this info here. Minimize that real quick because this is kind of this is very easy to explain and for everyone to read. So again, here's the actual numbers here. So they missed EPS. So yes, adjusted EPS $4.14, slightly below the consensus of 421. So they did miss EPS. Revenue, we know they missed revenue. So they actually missed revenue and EPS. But the interesting thing is outside of EPS and revenue, they showed some growth. All right. And specifically the premium revenue grew 8.5% year over year. So great year over year numbers. Basic economy revenue surged 38% year over year. So this is a perfect example is yes, they missed EPS, they missed revenue, but they're showing some really good growth with the revenue numbers. Okay. So obviously investors are forward looking. So yeah, they missed EPS, they missed revenue, but moving forward, they got great year over year numbers, which are some of the key highlights here. And financial position, they generated 2.9 billion in net cash from operating activities. So that brought them up to 18.2 billion in liquidity. So strong cash position by United Airlines. I'm thinking the investors are really liking that. And look, here we go. We're about to, we just broke through the golden fib, that $46.50 level. We are officially above it. Actually got a little bull signal here on the 1 minute, but again, we're on the 1 minute chart because we have to be, because earnings was just announced. As soon as we get some more time gone by, then we can go to some of the higher time frames and see if we can identify any technical analysis patterns possibly. But I'm basically just a volume trader, and I do like my fibs, and I like checking the order book a lot and stuff like that. Um, and that's as far as intraday trading and stuff. So, but they are definitely reversing, folks. They are above the golden fib. Let's see if they can hold above that 46.50 now. They're trading a little bit above $47. They are officially green now in after hours, just by a little bit. But what I'm thinking is exactly what I was saying is, yes, they missed EPS, they missed revenue, but the growth potential for the revenue moving forward is looking really solid. And the revenue compared to this time last year is showing growth. So investors like that, and people are dip buying right now. We got some dip buyers on United Airlines from this initial negative reaction. Was Cisco reporting too? They had the oddball candle there. Maybe that's just an anomaly there. Sometimes Webull does that. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. It's not all doom and gloom for the bulls, the United Airline bulls. I'm sure that first initial negative reaction was not something you wanted to see, but just everything's going to be just fine. Looks like it's clawing back and trying to reverse. Might get a little pullback here. It's just testing this 46.50. We can take a look at this big green candle that printed here. It's basically around $46. So be on the lookout for 46.50 and 46 to hold moving forward. But looks like it's clawing back. So just keep your eye on it. We'll see what happens for the remainder of after hours. And looks like we got about 200 people tuning in. Swinging bull here with PB alerts. Let's go over some of the profits the members made, and then we'll look at some of the trades that we've been doing. So let me just kind of pull this over here. I'll keep United Airlines over there on the right so we can kind of see it in the corner of our eye. So this is from today. Let me see here. Okay, this is Brother D. Talking about some entries strategies here using the MA20. MA20 is a good MA to use if you're a moving average trader. Mad Maverick, what a nice day. This was from yesterday. Okay, got a pretty good gain there. Mule Rest and Retire account up really good. That's the Rest and Retire program, like dividend hunters and things like that. Let's see if we can find some other good ones here. More dividend payers. Yeah, all the dividend traders have been getting paid pretty good. It's a smaller account there. Another Rest and Retire account up good with some dividends. This is Port with a nice day there, up 6% on the day. Pretty good there. Siphons, congrats to Siphons. Wow. 215% trade there, made over $1,100. Congrats on that trade. I already emojied you. Let me give you another one. Let me go to look at some of the recaps from some of our other analysts. Let's scroll down here. Okay, that was Pookie updating some plays there. Okay, so here's a recap here. We did take a couple losses here, but obviously the winners heavily outweighed the losers. But looks like we're trading Google, SPX, Triple Qs, Cat, IBM, Snow, Shop, Spy. Got some nice winners there. So we get a loser every now and then, but overall, sweet win rate on all this. So we live trade every day, and we have a lot of fun over here in the Discord. So if you're looking for a new home, definitely check out the link in the description. You can join for free and come party with us. But almost 4:30 p.m. Looks like, oh, look at TradingView. Look like a funky looking cup and handle, don't it? It's the 1 minute chart. We'll see if this ends up going after this recent high here. But United Airlines definitely reversed, and let's see if it can hold up and keep this reversal intact. Okay. But yeah, no, it's been fun hanging out with everybody. Looks like we got the reaction that we were looking for. Initial reaction was negative. Now it's clawed back and retraced basically 100% of that sell-off, pulling back a little bit now, but let's ultimately see if this turns into a higher low from back here. And you just want to look for kind of higher lows for the remainder of extended hours if this in fact is going to start trending up. It could be a situation where we open up tomorrow and it's just flat. Maybe we open up at 47 bucks, which is basically where it closed at today. We've seen that before too. So let's just let investors digest all the earnings data, and then when we get the move, you're going to know it as far as continuation goes, whether it continues to the upside or the downside. So let's see what happens for the rest of extended hours on that. But yeah, I had a lot of fun hanging out. I do this every Wednesday. Pick out some companies that are releasing earnings and kind of just go over the price reaction, look at some of the prior earnings reactions, go over some fundamental and financial data, and go over some trades that we've been doing in the Discord and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're looking for a new home, check the link in the description. You can join for free. But other than that, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night, and I'll chat with everybody later. And if you join the group, I look forward to meeting you. Cheers.